I told you that Alibaba would sell at $78 2-3 years ago, you would have called me crazy. I remember when people were clamoring for the stock price of like 210, 200, 150. Like people were clamoring at that price for Alibaba, and now it's at $78. 30% of the market cap is just net cash. Can you imagine if Amazon's net cash position was 30% of the company? Guys, we're talking about the best company in China. You can either say Tencent or Alibaba, whatever. It's still the number one company in China, selling at $78, a $203 billion market cap. Q4 earnings did come out. We're going to talk about everything going on with Alibaba, what to expect. Is this a good quarter, a bad quarter? What is up with the share price at this time? But before we get into this video, like it and subscribe to my channel. I'm always providing you guys with so much new content. Click that like button, click that subscribe button right now. So overall, a lot of people were disappointed about this quarter, especially for the cloud growth. The cloud growth was negative this quarter, which is actually shocking. It was at negative 2% year over year for the quarter. And remember, a lot of people's thesis for Ali Cloud and Alibaba in general is the cloud growth. So to see this going negative, people are like, damn, what is happening with Alibaba? This was kind of explained in the call transcript we're going to go through later on in the video, but we can see China commerce in general year over year, 3% negative. Damn, man. And this makes up 65% of the total revenue. So to see that negative, it's kind of so, but you have to kind of take the overall picture of China commerce. And this quarter had a COVID quarter in it. So, man, it doesn't show the true picture. The Chinese market recovery is not the same. It's not this quick uphill burst that everyone is expecting right away. The Chinese consumers are kind of taking their time and they're kind of slowly getting back into the market. So we might not see a big, huge burst until maybe like Q2 of 2023. Who knows? But man, people are really down on the Chinese commerce because we're not seeing that huge growth that we were expecting to see. But guys, I'm still giving it time. I know it's been like 2 years, but I'm giving it time. International commerce, 29%. International commerce growth is the highlight of this quarter, 29%. And you have to remember, they're going to split this apart. So can you imagine actually getting a piece of this 29%? That's huge. And I can see this growing because Southeast Asia and Turkey, those places are growing so fast that I can actually see this compounding very, very fast into the future. And this 9% is going to turn into 13, 14, 15, 60% of the total revenue of Alibaba very, very fast. Local consumer services, 70%. Xiao now, 18%. Cloud growth, like I said before, negative 2%. Digital media, whatever, 3%. Innovation and initiatives, 47%. I love this part of the quarter because everything is consolidating. 62% and 62% year-ended cost of revenue. Nothing is going up. Alibaba is doing exactly what it's setting out to do, keeping all the costs low, just generating cash. They generated $4 billion of free cash flow this quarter. That is super important because if you're thinking about the market cap of Alibaba of $203 billion, guess what? Generating $23 billion, trailing 12 months of free cash flow overall, guys, they're going to be able to like have the whole market cap just in free cash flow, like in a couple of like 8-9 years. So you can just sit back and relax. You don't even need Alibaba to grow. You're going to have the whole market cap just in cash. So just seeing that is such a bullish flag for me, but a lot of people are seeing the opposite point of view, seeing the cloud segment decline, seeing the China commerce decline, and not knowing is that going to come back because the competition with PDD, with JD.com is intense. That's the red flag that a lot of people in the market are seeing and kind of hesitant to kind of get into Alibaba, man, because they're like, damn, like, is the competition killing Alibaba, or is it just like a bad quarter again and again and again? So guys, keep your eyes open on the next few quarters. We're going to see China commerce kind of pick up, in my opinion. So let's see how that plays out. We got to keep a cool, level-headed mind right now. I know a lot of people want to sell Alibaba. They're just severely disappointed about Alibaba's quarter and what they're doing. But guys, I am not seeing what everyone else is seeing. But now let's go into the earnings call transcript. There are great signs and signals of what's happening with Alibaba in this call. Recovery in China consumption, but consumer confidence and spending power still need further momentum. At the same time, competition among multiple consumption platforms is still fierce, and everyone is trying to capture the incremental demand with more value for money products and services. So he is seeing that the consumption demand is picking up for the next quarter. The competition is fierce with PDD, JD.com, and kind of Tencent. So this is kind of the negative going on in China, as PDD is going crazy. They saw like revenue go to like 40-50% because they're just spending so much on marketing and they just want to see their platform grow. But the opposite end of what Alibaba is doing and what JD.com is doing, they're trying to generate free cash flow. So they're not doing a lot of these kind of demandish kind of product schemes to get you to go on the platform and spend crazy amount of money. They're not doing all that promotional activity. You can kind of see the difference of what the competition is doing. So this is probably a negative side for Alibaba. He is admitting that the competition is fierce, but it doesn't matter to me at this point because they're going to generate $23 billion of free cash flow. I believe that the China commerce market and Alibaba is still the most dominant company in China right now. So Daniel keeps talking about the restructuring plan for Alibaba, how it's going to go into 6 different companies, and Alibaba wants to unlock shareholder value. That's at the forefront. That's just positive news for us guys as Alibaba shareholders. Firstly, we plan to fully spin our cloud intelligence group and complete its public listing in the next 12 months as an independent company. And when they IPO this business, we can receive a dividend, man. So I'm chilling. I want to receive this dividend. I already know Alibaba is undervalued. So man, I'm going to keep sitting back and get this dividend. I'm going to wait until they keep buying back shares and wait until the price appreciation comes back because I know it will eventually. All of these companies have to follow earnings. So I can sit back, their earnings are increasing, their free cash flow is increasing, so I can sit back and relax. Secondly, Freshippo and CL Now are going to be the next companies IPOing. We can get secondary dividends from that as well. How much dividends are we going to receive for just owning Alibaba in the next 12 to 18 months? I can sit back and chill because I know that I'm going to collect the dividends. I know Alibaba is buying back shares and they're doing everything in their power to unlock shareholder value. And here's what we can expect from the generation of cash from Alibaba going forward. We are committed to execute EPS assertive activities that improve shareholders' return. I love it. During the fiscal year of 2023, we repurchased approximately 10.9 billion USD in our share repurchase program, which represented 44% of our free cash flow. From April 1st to May 17th, we repurchased another $2.3 billion in ADSs. We currently still have an unutilized amount of approximately $17 billion under the share repurchase program that we will continue to execute. So I'm super excited for that. In 2023, we generated $25 billion in free cash flow that was mainly contributed by this business, and we believe we will continue to generate strong free cash flow in the future. So guys, we can sit back, relax. This business is all about generating cash for us. It's still the #1 e-commerce player. I don't think that's going anywhere in the next 5 to 10 years. Man, I am still happy of what's going on in Alibaba. Now Daniel explains what happened with the cloud segment. So guys, tell me if you believe this. And this is why I kind of see the positive of what's going on, because I think he's explaining it very good and I believe him. In addition, the resurgence of the pandemic in China in January also impacted public cloud consumption and delayed delivery of certain hybrid cloud projects during the quarter. So next quarter, he's probably expecting things to pick up because a lot of projects were delayed. As the pandemic eased off, the remote working and school activities decreased in February and March. Demand for services such as CDN also decreased quite significantly. So that contributed to the downtrend of cloud. And we zoom out from the short-term fluctuations in cloud revenues and look back at Ali Cloud development over the past 14 years and cloud's vast future with rapid development of AI, we see massive market potential and remain confident at cloud's future. A lot of China is not even on the internet. So as the middle class becomes bigger, man, people are going to need more cloud services. As a lot of these like old Chinese kind of commerce businesses go into the cloud, people are going to expect more demand for the cloud segment. So I can kind of see this booming, but I still believe you got to give it time to boom. So man, do you believe in these comments? Do you think he's just over optimistic? Like, what's your thoughts on this kind of excuse for the cloud decline for the quarter? So right now we have Alibaba trading at $78. Guys, price to sales, the trailing 12 months, 1.72. Oh my God. Can you imagine Amazon selling for this price, or like Google or Apple? You have to remember, like, this is the biggest Chinese company in China. Like, that's insane. I know all of the people want to talk about the political risk and blah, 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 and war, whatever, guys. If war really happens, every company is getting demolished. Man, USA and China trade so many goods together. That's over like $600-700 billion worth of goods are trading between each country. You think the government is gonna actually end all of that? I highly doubt it. Like, that's literally impossible. Apple does business there. Like, are you saying that Apple's revenue is gonna get hit 40% because they have manufacturing in Apple? They have like half of their revenues, or like 20-30% of the revenues in China. What are you thinking? Like, why are people just going into Apple and not going into Alibaba if this real risk is actually gonna come to fruition? Why are people not worried about Nvidia when so much of their freaking revenue is generated in China? Like, guys, like, if this risk was so truly like in your face, why is everyone just like avoiding these companies that have so much of their revenue in China? Like, it's just insane to me how people are just thinking backwards about everything. Free cash flow yield at 11%. Insane, guys. This is literally insane. We have Alibaba, when it first IPO, was at a 58 multiple at price to operating cash flow, price to sales at 30. Guys, it's at the lowest it's ever been. Guys, enough said. Like, I don't want to make this like, I don't want to keep talking about how cheap Alibaba is. We already know it's cheap. The company is going to go where the earning goes. So over the next 5 to 10 years, if the company does 10, 20x in earnings and free cash flow, that's where the company goes in the long term. Maybe someone buys out Alibaba for like, what, 600 billion? Maybe BlackRock comes and buys Alibaba shares or whatever, because they have like $11 trillion in freaking assets under management. So maybe one of these companies buys out Alibaba at cheap prices, man. I don't know. Like all of this is just so crazy to me. Guys, what do you think about Alibaba, its share price, everything going on in Alibaba, the stock market, China war, whatever you want to talk about? Leave your comment down below. Subscribe to my channel, guys. Please subscribe to my channel. Peace.